Welcome back. So, I think I'm going to try and run through some pickups here. These are from quite some time ago, around Christmas time I think. Sort of just before, just after. Around that period. So you know, going on for 3 months ago these are. Quite a few of these I haven't played, unfortunately, what with being ill for a month. And the fact that I've actually been playing, you know, through to completion quite a few games, you know, it's a nice change. Because I've been picking up kind of less retro. You know, I haven't had to sort of clean and test everything I've bought. It's quite refreshing, really. Because I always used to go through the process of cleaning absolutely every retro game I ever bought, you know, thoroughly. And then testing it. You know, it takes time. It's quite refreshing buying new stuff you don't have to clean. However, I've played some of these, but not as many as I would like. So we'll just crack on. First one we've got to show is the Marvel Capcom Fighting Collection on the PS4. Been out some time. Somebody put this in one of the WhatsApp groups, I think, saying there was a good offer on it. It might have been Rob, possibly. Could well have been Rob, I think. However it was, thank you very much. I took the opportunity and I bought it. Got some amazing stuff on here. Fighters, obviously. It's got X-Men Children of the Atom, The Punisher, which is a fantastic thing to have. I haven't tried this yet, unfortunately. But it's got Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel vs Capcom, Marvel vs Capcom 2, and Marvel vs Street Fighter. Which were predominantly all the games I had on my Marvel vs Capcom arcade 1-up, which I moved on some time ago. So this kind of replaced that. So happy days, fantastic collection. Obviously, quite a few of those are on the Saturn. I've still got this stupid cough, though it is greatly improved and improving. It's just very, very slow. Right, next up, I've talked about this quite a bit on the channel, so I'm not going to dwell on it. The Plucky Squire on the PS5 in this case. I believe you can get it on the PS4 and the Switch as well. And it's usually on some kind of an offer. And it has been on the Amazon offer up until whenever it ended a couple of days ago. Around 20 quid, I think, possibly even cheaper for the standard version. If you like adventure style Zelda type games, but just, you know, quirky games in general, this is an amazing game. Honestly, it's one of the best games I've played in recent years. It's fantastic. Right, next up we've got another PS4 game. Now I'm pretty sure this was another WhatsApp group recommendation of a good deal. I have a feeling this was Sean. Anyway, we've got Arkanoid Eternal Battle with the slip cover. I think it's got a few extra bits in here. Oh yeah, it's got a couple of, like a lenticular cover. It's got some stickers. It's got a manual, can you believe? But yeah, Arkanoid, I mean, absolute classic. Used to love it on the Spectrum. Not played much of it since, if I'm honest, though there is a good version on the PS1 I've got, I think. But this looks kind of cool. It's got like a Neo, well, I think there's 4 versions. There's Versus, Retro, Eternal Battle and Neo. Neo looks kind of a neon version. I've no idea what Eternal Battle is. Versus is obviously multiplayer. I'm not going to play it for that. Got no mates. and then retro is the more traditional style. So I think this might be good. I'm looking forward to getting round to trying it. I have, funnily enough, just turned the PS4 on for the first time in God knows how long. It needs updating, obviously. So I might try that later. Right, next up, I've been after this for some time, and it's not like it's rare or anything. I've just been waiting to find it in a local CEX, because CEX tend to be cheaper than, say, buying it on eBay. And since I've been after this, I've just never seen it in a local one. And I would have taken either version, the PS4 or the Xbox. I just happened to drop on the Xbox version, which I think is actually cheaper anyway. So we've got Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Because I went down the Castlevania rabbit hole a few months ago, trying to hoover up all the 2D Castlevania style games that I could. I know this strictly isn't Castlevania, but you know, it's kind of similar, I believe, isn't it? Not tried it yet, unfortunately. So if you've played any of these what I haven't played, let me know what you think. Bloodstained, is it any good? I'm assuming it's quite, I'm sure it's supposed to be quite good, that, but possibly tricky, maybe, I'm not sure. Right, now this one, this is one of about 3 I bought, well, a few months ago. Kind of AAA, sort of massively regarded, some of the best games of all time type games that I just have never played, because predominantly that came out in that era of the 360 and the PS3, where I disconnected with gaming. The first one I bought and tried was The Last of Us, because I was, you know, most people you hear think it's incredible. I'd never played it, so I bought the PS4 version a few months ago, and I sat on it for quite some time, and eventually, not long before I was ill, I decided to play it. I think it was after Christmas, before I was ill. I decided I'll have a bash at this. Couldn't get on with it. Not for me, The Last of Us. I mean, it looks great, you know, it's very cinematic, all that kind of stuff. Just not the style of game for me, so I got rid of that. So that left me with 2 more in this category. One of them I'll put on another pickups, because I haven't tried that yet. This one, however, Uncharted, I have now tried. Again, never played this, any of them. And again, most people think it's incredible. Possibly their best game ever made. Uncharted 2, I believe, isn't it? What's supposed to be, you know, regarded as the best. So anyway, yeah, I tried this again just before I was ill. Not played it since, but you will note I've still got it. I actually thought this was really rather good, what I've played of it so far. I think I'm about 2 hours in to the first game, obviously. Really, really good. I mean, it's like playing a film, isn't it? I'm sure you've played it. You know, I'm the only one on the planet who has only just played this for the first time. But yeah, it's very much like playing a film. Like Indiana Jones, really, what I've played so far. Really quite impressed with this, I've got to say. I was expecting to kind of be in the same boat as The Last of Us, in that I wouldn't think it was for me and I'd move it on. But I want to play more. This seems really rather good. So hopefully there might be more to come on that, and I might revisit that perhaps in one of these rambling videos when I've played it, well, either more or completely through. Right, next up, this is a PS5 game, and well, I don't know anything about this, to be honest. I was in a local CEX one day and I saw it on the shelf, and thought, that looks kind of interesting. Picked it up, googled, kind of sounded, you know, possibly alright, so I bought it. Anyway, Slave Zero X, which according to the back of the box is a stylish 2D character action game set in the biopunk world of Slave Zero. Whatever Slave Zero is, I don't know, means nothing to me. But yeah, it looks like a 2.5D action platformer. So, I don't know. Have you played this? I mean, it was fairly cheap as I remember, so I'm assuming perhaps it's not that good. But it's another one. It's another one of these funky PS5 games I seem to keep finding. Just when I think, oh, there's no more to interest me, I keep finding another one. So again, at some point I'm going to get to play this and discover if it's actually any good or not. But let me know in the comments if you know if it's any good, if you've tried it. But that's the bit, because what I'm finding with the PS5, which is you know, and you could throw the same at the PS4 as well, really. So many games are really, really, well, cheap, really. I mean, I would say, you know, I've collected quite a few PS5 games now. I'm probably up to about 70. And I would say 90 to 95% of them I've paid less than 20 quid for. Which I know, you know, it's not a pound. But when you think it's a current console, you know, and majority of the games I'm buying are less than 20 quid. I mean, it's almost like budget Spectrum games, if you know, account for inflation. It's blowing my mind, really, the amount of stuff that you can get for such little money on a brand new console. And it's not like any of the games I've tried are rubbish. I haven't really, touch wood, I'm sure I will, I haven't really played a bad game on the PS5 yet. All the ones I've bought that sort of appear to float my boat have in fact turned out to be really good. So, you know, I've got loads to go at. And I'm sure there will be some I think, this ain't for me or this is garbage, and I will move them on. So, you know, the 70 I think will shrink. However, next up, I think I had this was cheap on offer. It might have been in Smith's, this one. 15 quidish maybe, seem to remember. Maybe a bit less. Anyway, NBA Bounce. I don't play sports games, but an arcade sports game I'm fully on board with. They are excellent. It was kind of mediocre reviews, this one. But I thought it was worth a punt. Because of, you know, it was essentially NBA Jam for, you know, this current generation, and that's primarily really what it is. I wouldn't say it was as good as NBA Jam, really, but it's, you know, it's all right. It's a basic, simple, fun NBA Jam style gameplay basketball game. Not going to blow your socks off, but it's all right for a quick blast for 10 minutes in between playing other stuff. And if you like NBA Jam, I certainly think it's worth, you know, if you see it cheap, it's worth a punt. NBA Bounce. Right, next up, now again, I could say this for most of these. This was cheap. I think I saw this on offer on Amazon. Just around, well, like I say, it was around Christmas. It might have been just before. And I knew nothing about it, but I'm sure this was like 12 quid or, again, less than 20. Anyway, Rogue Flight. Like I say, I knew nothing about it, and I have played this one just a bit. I was really quite surprised how much I liked this. It's been a few months. I haven't played it since I bought it, what with other stuff going on and being ill. But if I've got the right one, it's like sort of Space Harrier, I think. really rather good. I'm sure it was, yeah, I'm sure it's like a 3D on rail shooter type thing. You get a manual, you know. That's a wonder this day and age, isn't it? But yeah, I've no idea if it's still cheap. But if you like Space Harrier, assuming I've remembered the right one, this might be worth checking out if you haven't played it already, or you know, got it already rather. Rogue Flight, really quite good of that. What I've played of that so far. If I remember, I'll try and put a bit of footage up of that just to confirm it is the Space Harrier game that I think it is. Right, next up. Now this was brand new not long before Christmas, and I don't buy sort of full price games. You know, I gave that up long ago. It's got to be something super duper special for me to pay like new release full retail money. And as much as I quite fancy trying this, I wasn't paying 50 odd quid, whatever it was, when it came out. You know, if ever a game comes out that I want, unless I'm like desperate for it, like I say, I'll wait until it's like under 30, and then I might pull the trigger. And I was waiting and waiting on this one, and I think eventually it came down to around 30, and I bought it. I've not played it, unfortunately, and since then I've seen it for, I think it was 26 is the cheapest I've seen it. Anyway, Sonic Cross Worlds Racing. I played the demo that was available before it came out, and I thought it was alright, but nothing special, much like most of these Sonic racing games are. None of them compare to Transformed on like the Wii U, 360, PS3 in my opinion. But like I said, the demo was alright. It was certainly better, or it seemed better than the last one, Team Sonic Racing. But I hadn't long played Mario Kart World through when I got this, so it felt a bit too soon to jump into another kart racer. But I'm kind of ready to give another one a bash now, so at some point shortly I'm going to start playing this, I think. So although I could have probably saved another £5 had I waited, seeing as I've not played it, but you know, I'm pleased to have it. So we shall shortly find out if it's actually, well, hopefully it's better than the demo. You never know. Right, next up, this one's still sealed. I haven't tried this either. Now this one came about, I'm sure it was Ollie, 8-Bit Boy, who showed this on one of his videos, and I thought that looks interesting. And again, I'm sure this was cheap. Again, sort of that £15 mark, and it's called Boy Sweet Carol. And from memory, from what Ollie showed about this, it was like a puzzle adventure platformer. It just looked and sounded interesting how Ollie described it, so I thought I'm going to take a chance on that. It might be something I can get on with, because I quite like, as long as it's not too involved, I quite like, you know, a puzzle adventure type game from time to time. So I was interested in that enough to pull the trigger on it. But let me know if you've played it, if it's worth playing anytime soon. Right, now this next one, I think this was cheap on Amazon, because I've been seriously down the rabbit hole of looking for cheap deals on Amazon. It got quite addictive. But I do think I've exhausted what's of interest to me now, in the most part. That said, I don't know if Tony Fighter 2 might have mentioned this as well, possibly. I can't remember. Anyway, we've got Two Strikes again on the PS5. Now, it looks kind of interesting. It almost looks like your characters are in black and white with a colour background. And it kind of reminds me of kind of a Samurai Showdown type game. And from reading the box, it says it's a 2D combat extravaganza with breathtaking hand-drawn animations, with each battle being decided by 2 hits. So, I'm unsure. It's some kind of hand-drawn, what look like beautiful graphics, 2D fighting game. But if it's only decided by 2 hits, I'm assuming it must be kind of like more real life, if you like, where, you know, if you got slashed by a sword, you'd be dead, kind of thing. So, I'm assuming there's some foothold on reality in this, in the sense that, you know, you couldn't take a pummeling and then get up and walk off, kind of thing. So, I don't know. It might be rubbish, but again, I thought it was worth a go. Let me know if you've played it. Right, this, now I do remember this was on offer straight after Christmas. I think it was a tenner. It's probably because it's rubbish, I don't know. But anyway, I bought the Karate Kid Street Rumble. It's obviously a Karate Kid themed scrolling 2D belt brawler. Well, I think it is. You know, I quite like a scrolling beat 'em up. Karate Kid theme. Surely it's worth a tenner, surely. Right, next up, I have played this. I've played it completely through, and I have to say I loved it. I'm talking about Old School Rally. Now, again, like Sonic Cross Worlds, I played the free demo of this before the game actually came out, and that was thanks to Hayden, Subliminal VCR, who I think he put up a challenge regarding it, and I thought that looked interesting. I'll have a go at that. And I played the demo. I thought it was absolute garbage. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was unplayable almost. The handling was atrocious. So I thought to myself, there's no way I'm buying that when that comes out. I bought it, and I don't know why I bought it, to be honest. I really don't know why I bought it. Anyway, I think it was 25, I think it's still 25 quid, which is, I suppose it's fairly cheap for a new game. And it's essentially, I've mentioned this I think on a previous waffle video, so I'm not going to dwell on it. It's essentially a PS1/2 era rally game. Quite basic in how it looks. It's a bit over pixelated for my taste. I think that it would have looked better had it been a bit less pixelated, but that's kind of the style, isn't it? So fair enough. But I'm not sure if it's actually just the fact that it's better than the demo, and you know it's been further developed since the demo, but all the facts, you know, playing it more and, you know, getting other cars and getting more used to it, for whatever reason, I got on with the proper game much better, and it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's no Sega Rally, nothing is, but it's a good, honest, fun, pure arcade, old school rally type game, much in the mould of like Colin McRae, the original one. It's in no way simulation. It's pure arcade fun. There's quite a few tracks to play. There's lots of cars to unlock. Like I say, I've been through it. I've done everything. It's a really, really good game. Can't say more than that, really. If you like old school rally games, you might want to check it out. It's really quite good. Right, we've only got 3 left. Right, this next one, again, this was cheap. I can't remember. It might have been, it was Amazon or Smiths, I forget which. Again, I've seen it a couple of quid cheaper since I've bought it, and it's still sealed. I think I paid 15. I think you can get it for about 13 now. and it's Recreation. Again, it's so cheap, I'm assuming it's not that great, but it's from the same, I think it was quite low budget from what I've read. It's from the same people who made Burnout, if I remembered it correctly, and it's kind of a similar game to Burnout. Obviously PS5, you'd expect the graphics to be a little bit better, but I think because it was quite low budget, it's not perhaps as good as it might have been, hence probably why it's cheap. But again, for 13 quid for a Burnout type game from the people who made Burnout, it's got to be worth a punt, hasn't it? Again, at some point I will try it, still sealed. But like I say, again, much like all the others, if you've tried it, let me know what you think, please, in the comments. Right, 2 to go, and we've got 2 nice ones to end with, I think. And first up, they're both sealed. We've got the Castlevania Dominus Collection, which is, I don't know, it could be a first for me. It's a limited run game. I didn't buy it from Limited Run. I'm pretty sure I bought it off Amazon. And again, I'm sure this was quite reasonably priced. I was surprised how cheap it was. But it's essentially the Game Boy Advance games. Because I've got the other Castlevania collections on Switch, I think. And you can get this with different covers. So I chose that one, probably because it was the cheapest. I can't remember. But you've got Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Excelsior, and Portrait of Ruin, isn't it? So like I say, I've been down this sort of trying to get all the 2D Castlevania rabbit hole, and this was another one I've bought. At some point I will try it, because I've never played any of the Game Boy games in the past, so it'll be kind of nice to have them on a big screen, won't it? I don't do handhelds really. Right, last one, again, Limited Run. But again, I didn't buy it off Limited Run. But I have, since I've been down this PS5 rabbit hole, I have ended up buying 1 or 2 Limited Run and Strictly Limited games, which I've never done in the past. But none of them have been from, you know, the original source. I've purchased them from elsewhere, where I know I'm going to get them once I've had my money. Right, so we'll end with the Contra collection, this time on the Switch. You can't go wrong with Contra, can you? Amazing games. Fantastic to have them in one collection, in this case on the Switch. And we've got about 10 games on here. Contra Arcade, Super Contra, Contra North American, Contra Japanese, Super Contra, Contra 3 The Alien Wars, or Probe Protector, Operation C, Contra Harp Corps off the Mega Drive, Super Probe Protector, and Probe Protector. So what a stunning collection. The Switch is just full of this kind of stuff. It's incredible. Right, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Please let me know, like I say, in the comments about any of those games if you've tried them, especially the ones I haven't, to give me a bit of a heads up before I eventually try them. But anyway, still got quite a few pickups to work through, so we've knocked a few off there. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you soon.